All right, welcome everybody. My name is Julie Brown. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and I have a really fun card tonight. It is a fun fold card that we're going to do. I've been doing several of these lately just to kind of show you guys some different things to do with your card making. But first, let's just get some, I don't even know what you call it. I just got to get some information out there. Ignore that hostess code because that hostess code has expired. But if you need to get in contact me, or if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you see something you like tonight and you want to place an order, you can do that through juliebrown.stampinup.net. You can email me at juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. And then don't forget to visit both my Pinterest and Facebook pages, which you should be on the Facebook page right now, Julie's Creative Stampin'. But both on my Pinterest and my blog is stampinjuliebrown.blogspot.com. I actually post a lot of cards that I make that sometimes you don't see here on this, sorry, on these videos. But I do post them on my blog. I'm a little behind this month because I've had some things going on, but I will get started back up with that. Also, I did a video, was it Saturday? Oh, I don't even know when. This week has just been so crazy. I believe it was on Saturday. I've got a ton of retired products that I am selling. These are from like 3, 2, and a year ago. None of the current stuff that's retiring is on this, but I do have a video on this site of some of the sets that are retiring that are for sale. So if you are interested in that, you can go back and look at that video. You'll be able to find it right here on this site. Just click on videos and you'll see the retired items video. And a lot of them have sold, but you can go ahead and message me if there's one that you're interested in. Obviously, if you don't live in the Farmington, New Mexico area, I will need to ship it and you will need to pay the shipping fees. So just wanted to let everybody know that. If you're new to this site, please make sure that you like my page. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you click on the subscribe button right below so that you are subscribed to me. So, hey, Shanine. Oh, you're watching from work. Oh, you guys are working late tonight. So anyway, we're going to get started with this fun fold card. And also, if you're new, please make sure that you comment. Let me know you're here. But most importantly, if you have any questions, make sure you type in questions. So let's get started. So I am going to be working with the Ride the Range and the Open Range dies. This is a bundle. Now, please note that, hey, Mel, please note that the Open Range dies are on back order right now, but you can still order the bundle. Let me put that number up for you. You can still order the bundle, and then the dies will just be on back order. So just so you know, and realize that this is one of those bundles that will be here through June. Hey, Brenda, be here through June because it's in the mini catalog. So it will be available through June. I do want to point out, though, there are some things that you guys might see in the retired list that are some of the sets that are in the mini catalog. And so the way that's going to work is because the mini catalog is, sorry, let me switch this back so I can explain this. Because the mini catalog is while supplies last, they have put some things on the retired list or the last chance list that are in the mini catalog. So if they do sell out, they will no longer be available until June, because anything in the mini catalog, Stampin' Up! Does say, yes, it's through June, but it's only while supplies last. So if they do sell out before then. So you guys might want to take a look at the last chance products and see if there's anything in there from the mini catalog that you were wanting, because once they're gone, they're gone. So I did want to explain that to everybody because there's been a little bit of confusion on that. All right, back to the card. Okay, so we're going to use the Ride the Range and the Open Range dies, and I love these dies. So again, I'm just going to show you really quick. So this die cuts out the horseshoe. This die cuts out the hay. This die cuts out the cows. This die cuts out the cowboy, and then we have all of these standalone dies. So you can cut out a fence, you can cut out a windmill. This is just so like if you wanted to do like a frame and then put a little scene inside of it on a card front. That's what this is for. And this one is clouds. And then what this one is for is, so if you want to cut like, let's say some hills, this is what you put at the top of your paper, and it will cut some slopes and some hills for you. So really useful dies. But let's get started because we have to go through the fun fold part of this and how all of that gets cut. I guess I better move those dies before I dump them on the floor. All right, so let's talk about what we need for this card. So you are going to need, and I'm going to do it this way, a 5 1/4 by 11 inch piece, and I used Misty Moonlight, and we're going to be scoring and cutting this in just a second. Then you're going to need, this is 5 by 7 1/2, scored at 3 3/4. This is going to make a little card inside the fun fold. And then you're going to need some, I'm going to do the bigger pieces first. Then you're going to need, for this card, I'm using Night of Navy. This is the back of the card. And this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I use this brush metal. And this is 3 1/2 by 6. You could use silver foil as well, or copper foil would work. And then I'm bringing in, and this is one of the things that is on the last chance list. It is on sale right now. This is the World of Good Specialty Designer Series paper. But I thought that this paper would work perfect with this particular bundle. But I only need little strips of it. So let me tell you what we need. So I'm using this that has the gold. I don't know if you guys can see the shiny on it. And so I needed 2 of these, and they are 1 1/2 by 5. So I cut 2 of those. And again, if it is directional, because like there's words, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that when you cut it. And then I needed a little piece. So this is 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. I don't know if I cut that right now that I'm looking at that. Yep, it is. And then you're going to need a half by 3 3/4. And then we have 4 little tiny pieces here, and this is 1 by 1 1/2. All right, and then we're going to need a Night of Navy piece that is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and one that is 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. And a Whisper White piece that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So lots of little pieces. This would be a good card to use your scraps on. Okay, so let's talk about the fun fold part of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to do some scoring first. All right, so we are going to score first at 1 3/4. Hey, Brenda. And 3 1/2, and 5 1/4, and then at 7. So let's stretch that out so I can move this to 7. Ooh, almost grabbed the cutting one. Ah. Okay, then we're going to turn it so that this big section, see this big section here, is at the bottom, and we are going to measure to the right to 1 1/4. Then we're going to take our cutting blade and we are going to line it up with this first score line, and we're going to pass this score line and we're going to go down to the 3rd score line. Okay, so you're going to cut it from the first score line to the third score line. Then I am going to flip it over and do that again, and this should already be where it needs to be. So we're just going to push it up to, and you have these little lines on the side of this that help you to get that lined up. And I don't think I went quite far enough there, or quite far enough there. So let me, yep, okay, so then we're good. So then what I did was I just cut out that little piece. Okay, so that's basically the hardest part to this, besides like stamping. And so the way that this folds is this is going to fold this way. So that's a valley fold. This is a mountain fold. These top ones are valley folds. This one is going to be a mountain. These two on the side are valleys. And then this is a mountain as well. Okay, so that when it closes, it looks like that. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's open, and that's what it looks like. And then you'll always, so I always like to go through and burnish really good, because any time that you've got fun fold cards or anything that is kind of dimensional like this, you want to make sure that you are, I call this burnishing, and all it is just really making sure that that's a good nice crease in all of those folds. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side for just a second while we do some stamping. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be bringing in my StazOn ink. So I need my StazOn cleaner. And we are going to bring in the horseshoe. And I'm going to stamp this 3 times. And the reason I'm using StazOn ink is because I'm doing this on the brushed metal, or even if I was doing this on the foil paper, the StazOn ink is the best ink to do it with. It works the best. It doesn't smear. Because if you try to use the StazOn ink, it actually will smear it, just so you know. All right, so then we've got that. And then I'm just going to take my StazOn cleaner. Just always make sure if you're going to buy StazOn ink that you buy the StazOn cleaner to go with it, because it's the only thing that really gets the ink off is that StazOn cleaner. And then I just bring in a baby wipe and I just get that cleaned up. If you don't clean it up fairly quickly, it will stain your stamps. Any of the StazOn, because they have more than black. They have other colors in StazOn. I think Stampin' Up sold was it saddle brown or a type of brown not too long ago. But just so you're aware with the StazOn inks that you do need to clean that up as quickly as you can. So I am going to let this dry for just a bit. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring in this little Whisper White piece. And I'm done with my StazOn, so I can move that out of the way. And I am going to be bringing in the Night of Navy. And I'm going to grab the sentiment on here that says, "Life is a journey, enjoy the ride." And we are going to be stamping that. This is such a fun little set. Of course, my husband's family were ranchers, so obviously I had to have this set. Because I'll be using this on some scrapbook pages as well. Because it just right down the alley for the brown side of the family. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to center that the best I can. And then I'm going to come in with this little stamp that is bob wire. So for any of you that have never been to the country and have never seen this lovely, that's what this is. It's bob wire fencing. And we're going to take that, and I'm just going to try to get maybe one strand at the top corner, and then come in with a little bit more on the bottom. Okay, so then it looks like so with the bob wire on there. That's just to kind of decorate that up a little bit. Okay, so let me clean this stamp. Oh, there it is. I was looking for my cleaner. Now I'm just using our chamois. Again, if you guys don't have the chamois, you definitely want to have this, because all you do is, I just bought one of our small cases to keep it in. It does get dried out, but it's just basically adding water, and then you're able to, oh my gosh, look, I've already got blue all over me. Go figure. All right, so we're gonna stamp this to, or put that there. While I've got all the stamps out, we're just gonna do the stamping. So then we're gonna come in with this, and this is like a card inside of our fun fold card. And this one I'm gonna come in and I'm going to actually use black memento ink. And I'm going to pull out the little cows. So yeah, my husband's family were ranchers, and we used to gather in cattle twice a year. And he had 45 sections of land, which is a ton of land. We used to get up early in the morning before it even was light outside and get on our horses. And sometimes we were loading them into horse trailers so that we could get to where we were going to be bringing in the cattle. But yeah, it was a fun life. It was a really fun adventure to just get on, but you're riding all day long. And I know people have all of these romantic ideas of ranching and stuff, but like I said, we got on before it got light, and we didn't get off until it was dark. And trying to get on the horse the day after was quite a feat, let me tell you. I had to actually take my horse over to a rock and get on the rock and then get on my horse, because my legs and my muscles were so tired from riding all day. But it was fun work, but it was so good to be out in God's creation, and it was just a really, really fun time in our lives. And then I'm going to take this, the little guy on the cowboy, oh my goodness, the guy on the horse, and I am going to center that one like so. All right. And I know this all looks kind of confusing because I'm doing a bunch of the stamping first. And so when I start to put the card together, this will all make sense, what I'm doing. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of this card. And I'm just going to put the happy birthday sentiment here. And I'm going to do that in Night of Navy. But yeah, we actually sold our last horse last year. And it's the first time since my husband was about 5 years old that he has not had to get up in the morning and take care of horses. So I think he's been kind of missing the horses a little bit. But we've replaced those with chickens. I don't know if he appreciates the trade. But he now has a little group of hens and a rooster that follow him around a little bit. Okay, so we've got our stamping out of the way. And so now what I want to do is bring in the die cutting machine, because I'm going to cut out a couple of, we're going to cut out these horseshoes, and then I am going to cut out a windmill. So let me bring that in. Yeah, I don't know, if that was a fair trade. Horses for chickens. My husband's a good sport. So this is, again, it's a standalone die, and what that means is that it doesn't, you don't stamp, you're not stamping first before you cut something out. Okay, and then we're just going to line up that horseshoe. Put this down and kind of give it a little squeeze there so it stays in place, and we're just going to roll that through. Okay, so we should have one of these. See how cute that is when it's cut out? Little horseshoe for good luck. And then we're gonna grab this. I'm just gonna leave it in the die right now while I'm finishing up these other horseshoes. Here we go. So another thing I wanted to point out, I didn't know if you guys saw this, but I was like shocked. So some of my favorite dies are actually retiring. So the stitched shapes dies, which I use all the time, are retiring. And I believe the layering ovals, which I use all the time. And I think the layering squares, I think the only layering ones that are staying are the layering circles. So I got to admit, I was getting a little, because I use those dies so much in what I do. And so I was like shocked that but you know, they've been around a long time. So I guess Stampin' Up! Is trying to come out with some new fun things, hopefully, to replace those. But I just, you know, those stitch shape dies, you know, I almost like shed a tear. Yeah, I know, Mel, it's hard to believe they're retiring, but like I said, so are the layering ovals and the layering squares. So I was like in shock. Okay, so let's pop this out of this die. And so if you have one that sticks like this, see all these little holes in these dies? That's where they've got it set up so that if you just lightly push on that, that's what actually like will pop it out so that you can grab a hold of it. So if you guys didn't know that previously, there's a little tip for you tonight. Okay. And isn't that a cute little windmill? Look at that. So cute. So which ones are your favorite, Brenda's? The stitch shapes or the layering ovals and layering squares? Okay, so let's bring our card in. So now we're ready to start putting our card together. And it actually goes together pretty quick once we've done all of our stamping. So we're going to take these two pieces and they're going to go here and here. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal for that. And remember, guys, I told you with this Stampin' Seal, it's really important that you do that little like snap at the end, because that's what keeps the tape up here. Because what will happen if you don't do that is the tape kind of like springs back and then it gets stuck to this bottom edge. And then it makes it a little bit difficult when you're using this. So if you just learn to do that, just that one little, like right at the end, just kind of bend it back so that it stays right there. Okay, so this is going to go right here. And like I said, this designer series paper I felt was kind of perfect for writing the range, even though it has like London and all this other stuff on here. I just think that it the imagery on it, as far as like traveling and writing across the country, was the perfect designer series paper for this. That's just my thought. You guys might have a different thought. All right, so then there's that one. And then I'm going to bring in these little tiny pieces. And again, I have to pay attention to the direction. You know, if you're using paper, like for instance, this green right here, that's the back side of, not this one, but it was the back side of that paper. All of them. Yeah. I know, Brenda, I'm dying because all those are leaving. But if you're using paper that you don't have to worry about the direction of it, then you don't have to be as careful when you're cutting it. So yeah, Shanine, isn't the windmill cool? I love it. Wes's dad loved windmills. I don't know why, but he had pictures of windmills in his home. He just loved windmills. And of course, from a rancher's point of view, they're very helpful because, the windmills are what help to pump up the water into the tanks for the cattle. So there's a little bit of ranching information for you guys. So we always had a windmill, and then we always had a water tank sitting right there that the cows would come up and water out of. Oh, I think I almost did that upside down. Oh, I did. I wasn't looking at the wording. All right, we got one more of these to get on there. Alrighty. That's why I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, sometimes when you go out to ranches and stuff, they'll have if it's been raining a lot or something, they'll have the windmill kind of tied in place so it doesn't move because they don't want any more water in the tank. Okay, so that's what that looks like so far. It's really shiny. You guys are seeing the shine now. And then this little green, this Night of Navy piece is going to go first. Oh, see, I got lucky. I didn't do my little, no, I didn't. See how I don't know if you guys saw that pull, and it flung back and it got attached to this little bottom section here. I mean, seriously, you have to do that every time. Oh, that's a fun game. So you play a game when you travel to Who Sees the Windmills First. Yeah. Yeah, anytime you're going across ranching land, you should be seeing windmills because they're vital for the water for the cattle. All right, so we're just gonna, again, just do these. Then this piece is gonna go on top of that Night of Navy piece. All right, and then this piece that we stamped is going to be matted onto this Night of Navy piece. Yeah, I think it's funny how sometimes, we just think, oh, there's a windmill. What's it for? But yeah, in the ranching world, almost everything has a specific purpose for why it's out there. So then what we're going to do with this piece is you're going to close this and you're going to attach this right here, and you are going to put glue around the whole thing because you do want it attached to this as well. See, I'm sitting here telling you guys to do that little twist, and then I get in a hurry and I don't do it. Alrighty. Oopsies. Alright, so that's going to fit like so. So this is what we have so far. We have our little Life is a Journey, and then it's going to open up and look like that. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is this card that we stamped. It's actually going to fit on this section right here. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this, and I'm probably going to do a little bit more than I normally do just because this is a moving part, and anytime I'm putting something on that moves, like opens and closes, I tend to be a little bit more diligent on putting enough adhesive that it's not going to pull off the card. So we're just going to lay that down like so, and then that'll close like that. So now what you have, so far it looks like this, and you can see the cattle, and then when you open it up, you see the cowboy. How fun is that? Okay, so now we're going to decorate a little bit here, and then, oh, this little band right here is going to go right here at the top on the inside of this card. Actually, I got one more thing to do before we decorate. And you can either leave it down a little bit, or you can put it straight up at the top. And I think I'm going to leave mine down a little bit, so that it still shows. And this is, sorry, this is Cinnamon Cider. I don't think I told you guys that, which is both the Misty Moonlight and the Cinnamon Cider are both our in colors for this year. And as you know, we're having new in colors coming out. I've already seen them and I love them. Okay. All right. So now let's do some decorating. So I want to bring in these horseshoes, and I want to put like one here. And I wasn't sure about using this brushed metal because this paper has like the gold, kind of like the gold leafing in it a little bit, but I think it still looks really good together. So we're going to put that there. And then we're going to throw this one here like so. Whoops. I had some glue on the end of my finger. That one's going to go there. Then I'm going to take this little windmill, and we're going to put that on the other side. Oops, I see a little piece that didn't pop out. Oh, one right there too. And this one, if I'd have been thinking, I would have actually put that adhesive strip on the back of this, because then it would have been a little bit easier to adhere this, but I can do it this way. This is what I've always done before they came out with that cool adhesive strip that makes it easy for these really detailed dies to get glued into place. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to stick it right here. Whoops. That moved just a little bit. Again, that's why I like to use the liquid glue, because if it doesn't go down exactly where you want it. Then I'm going to take this last little horseshoe, and it's going to go on the inside of the card. So I'm just going to lay that right here. And you'll have all of this to like write a sentiment and sign your name or write a little note. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with this Night of Navy piece that I had. This is actually the back of the card. So now I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to put adhesive here. Can you guys hear my dog? He's barking at the wind, I do believe. I also have, he has a partner in crime right now. One of my daughters is out of town and we are puppy or dog sitting, I guess you call it. Oh, I didn't get that laid down right. I hope that lays down right. Okay. All right. So then that actually becomes the back of your card, and it ties in this Night of Navy. So what do you guys think? So it says life is a journey. We've got the little horseshoes on there. You open it up and it shows him on a horse. And then you now have this card also that opens up and says happy birthday. Isn't that a fun card? And it really wasn't that hard. I know a lot of people like to do really quick cards, and I do most of the time, but every once in a while I like to do a card that, this is a glue eraser for those of you. I got a little bit of glue. It was on my hand and I got it on there. So I like to do some cards that are fun. So, but wasn't this a fun set? And didn't that paper go really well with this set? I just love this card. It's just so much fun. And then you just open again and you have plenty of room to write stuff. And yeah, so another fun card. I know, it's such a cool design. I really love this one. So way cool, way cool. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Just make sure you guys are keeping track of the last chance items because they are going, you know, really quick. And like I said about this particular bundle, I'm going to put that back up one more time for you. The dies are on back order. You can still order the bundle, and the dies will come in. They'll send you the stamp set, and then they'll send you the bundle. Oh my gosh, my words tonight. And then they'll send you the dies as soon as they get in. But yeah, so just kind of keep checking that last chance. Oh, like I said, some of those dies are killing me that we're not going to have them anymore. I'm just like, oh my heart. So I'm going to have to start designing without my stitch shaped dies. Don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to have to and see what I can come up with. Because gosh, guys, that's a huge one for me. So anyway, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Again, if you're new to my channel, please make sure you like my Facebook page. If you're watching it on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. I will put all of the dimensions. I will be posting this on my blog, and my blog, I'm going to put this up one more time, is stampinjulieBrown.blogspot.com, and I should have that up by the end of the week, so you guys can go to my blog and get all of the dimensions and the scoring and all of that, if you don't want to have to keep stopping the video to do that. But I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. And also, don't forget, if you want to see my retiring products that I'm selling, there is another video on this same channel with everything that I am selling at this point. Some of it has, actually quite a bit of it has sold, but if you can always message me and let me know if there's anything on that video that you would like or interested in. Oh no, Brenda, most of what you own is retiring. Well, so just so you know, so everything that's retiring this year, I always keep. So I keep everything for at least one more year. So I don't know if you noticed on my retiring list that I sold, that stuff that is like from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and a year ago. So the stuff that's retiring out of this catalog, I will actually keep for a whole other year. So, you know, and I know that, you know, there's a lot of demonstrators who just get started. There's a lot of, you know, and understand, if you guys want to keep your stamps, keep your stamps. And that's what I used to do. That's why I have so many for sale. But because I'm a demonstrator and I need room, for new products, because, you know, I show you guys all the new stuff that's coming out. I had to make room. And so I am actually parting with stuff that is hurting my heart to part with. Because I love it, but I have to have room to put stuff in. So, you know, if I was not a demonstrator and I was not having to buy so much new product to show, I would be keeping a lot. Probably most of the stuff that you guys see in that video would not be being sold, because there's a lot of stuff that is near and dear to my heart in those videos. So that's kind of like those stitch shapes. The stitch shapes I'm going to keep probably till the day I die because I love them. So yeah. So anyway, so thank you guys for being here tonight, and I hope everybody's doing great and having a great week. And yeah, let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys, or if there's any specific stamp sets that you'd like to see me do. Especially if there's any retired stamp sets, you guys can send me a message. You can email me, send me a message, and let me know, because if there's one that you're thinking about, maybe you might want, I can definitely do a video on the ones that are retiring. So everybody have a great night, and we will be talking to you next Tuesday. Bye.